So I recently posted a short that was talking about my dividend snowball and why it started taking off. And I wanted to dive into that in more detail this morning in today's live stream. How you doing, everybody? My name is Dallin Wardrop. This is Creating Cash Flow. And Creating Cash Flow is a channel where I share all of my learnings about how to create wealth, passive income, personal finance, budgeting, anything like that, and start the conversation. So if you have any comments, any thoughts on anything I say, go ahead and put them in the comments down below, and we'll keep the conversation rolling between all of us. So the first things first is I really started tracking my dividends and passive income in 2022. Before that, I just had anything that came in automatically reinvest into whatever I was invested in. So I owned some Apple stock, and every time I would get a small dividend payout, it would just automatically reinvest itself into Apple stock. And in the beginning, I don't know, maybe the first 5 years, it was always just such a small amount. You were getting dividend, I was getting dividend payouts, 12 cents, 25 cents, 30 cents. And they were just so small and inconsequential that it didn't even seem worth tracking. And the other part of that is the market has so many highs and lows. And I knew I was investing for the long term. So I didn't want to track everything on like a month to month and day to day basis, just because I didn't want to go through the highs and lows. I pretty much would think of investing as flushing the money down the toilet, and I'll check in 20 years, 30 years. And if it's going well, then great. So I'm not sure that's the best overall strategy, but there's definitely something to be said to not having to track the market every day, every week, and experience those highs and lows in your life. I thought, for me at least, that was really nice. So when I started this channel in 2022, I started actively tracking all of my passive income that I make, no matter what it's from. And by the end of 2022, I had more than I expected, but still not very much. And already in the first 2 months of 2024, I've made more money in dividends and passive income than I did in all of 2022. And so I wanted to talk about the main reasons why I think that is. Obviously, compound interest, I have more money in the market now. And so I'm making more money from dividends and things like high yield savings accounts. But the main things are more a mindset of what you can do to really get to either your first 100K or just start diving in, having more success with your dividend earnings and your passive income earnings. So these are the mindset that I try and go with. The first one is focus. So before 2022, I didn't have an extreme focus. I just wanted to save money, put it away in a Roth IRA, in my 401k, just savings in general. And that was my main focus, was just to save as much money as possible. But then I started getting more and more payouts from dividends. And I was like, oh, maybe I should focus on dividends and tracking that passive income, while at the same time saving, since that was now a habit that had formed for me. So the new focus was tracking everything. So now at the end of every month, I go through and add up all of the passive income that I have earned that month. I have a full spreadsheet that I built. It's very simple. If you have access to Google Drive, I'm sure you could build a spreadsheet just like mine. It's very, very simple. And it just tracks how much I earned from each stock or ETF or index fund that month. And then it calculates into this is how much I earned overall. So the first one is focus. And I am a big believer on what you focus on grows. And same thing is like what you measure grows as well. So whatever you're measuring, the small things you need to do to improve. And that helped me a lot. The second one is I started learning more about what I wanted to be invested in and why. So there's a bunch of free resources online. There's a lot of other great YouTubers that talk about uh, index fund investing, just anything, ETFs. You can learn so much online for free. I don't I don't think I paid for anything, no courses, nothing like that in terms of um, how to be successful with investing. All I did was just learn, and overall leaning on the fact that the US market has continued to go up, and I believe it will continue to go up. So I just took the time to learn as much as possible. I read a bunch of prospectuses and I studied them because they're pretty confusing. That was a whole new idea of what is a prospectus and what it means to me and what it's actually saying. So I would go cross-reference what I learned there with what YouTubers were saying and what different blogs were posting, and Investopedia, other places that talk about finances. So I just tried to learn as much as I could, and then I decided what type of stocks overall I wanted to be invested in. So I've landed um, on a lot of ETFs and index funds. You want the low cost, or I want the low cost, so they don't take money. And um, I I I feel like that was the best thing for me. So I just learned as much as I possibly could about dividend investing and just investing in general. The third thing is patience. And I already mentioned this, but in the very beginning, I just was putting money away, trying to save as much of my paycheck as possible. And with that, it's just patience. It's super boring to get a 12-cent dividend payout or a 20-cent dividend payout. Well, that is money, technically, that you didn't have to work for. It's not exciting money. It's not exciting to get 12 cents. So I keep my head down, and actually I keep my head down and don't worry about it too much. So I just put the money in the market, in stocks, index funds, ETFs that I feel comfortable with. I also have some fun with it and do some risky stuff. I have another video that I just posted about Bitcoin, and I have no idea what Bitcoin's doing. So that is just some money that I feel comfortable. If we lost it all, it's going to be fine. But right now, it's absolutely crushing and growing. So that's also kind of fun. But how I'm really looking at this is long term. What's going to happen over the next 20, 30, 40 years? That way, there is the opportunity to not only retire, but hopefully be able to build some generational wealth. And really, if you look and study compound interest, and I mention this on almost every video, but calculator.net is a fun place to study compound interest. Compound interest, the best friend is patience. So the more patient you are, the more compound interest will be able to impact your life. And the more compound interest impacts your life, the more money you're going to have. So those are my 3 lessons of what I've learned and why I feel like my dividend snowball has been taking off more lately over the past 3 years. So if you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and or hit that like button or subscribe. Either way, thank you.